All right, now back to this rather complicated story. It's been blowing up online. We understand it's getting a lot of attention, and there's a good reason. A lot of people are asking how a neighborhood dispute over what was built in a backyard, at the time appearing to be legal, ultimately landed a Tampa man behind bars. That's where he still is tonight. Now, his version is the city issued him valid permits to build a guest house, so he had all the rights to do it. Well, that's when the story took a strange turn. His neighbors filed a lawsuit saying that that structure is illegal.
We want to bring in Ariel Placencia now to break it all down for us, because it's garnering so much attention. So let's start from the beginning, because this is a complicated story, Ariel.
Definitely, and it goes all the way back to 2017. That's where this whole thing starts, because that's when Michael Martin bought several properties in Beach Park, and according to his attorney, he went through the proper channels with the city to get them reconfigured, right? And so in the end, he builds his home on the middle lot. And take a look. This is what I want to show you. This is a plat, and highlighted in yellow, that's that middle property that I'm talking about that he built his house on. But notice his backyard, though. It's that odd kind of triangular shape because it sits on what used to be an old cul-de-sac. It was labeled E on the map there, and it used to connect to an old alley. Now, none of that's there anymore. And so Martin got valid permits from the city of Tampa to build his guest house, his pool, his pickleball court that you see there. Well, neighbors identified as the Babbitts pushed back and filed a lawsuit back in 2021. And according to court documents, they said the guest house blocked sunlight. It caused privacy issues, and it diminished their property value. Well, in 2023, a judge ruled in favor of the Babbitts, saying the guest house that Michael Martin built on that old cul-de-sac land is illegal and that it violated the plat and city code. The court told him to remove everything. He didn't. Now he's in jail, and that's where we are today.
Wow. So that's part of the confusing part in here, that so many viewers are asking, how do you end up behind bars in what this is a city case? This is just a civil case, not criminal.
Yeah.
Civil case, exactly.
Right.
And arrests and jail time can happen in civil cases. Let me give you a common example. Child support, right? A judge orders you to pay child support, and let's say you don't. Well, you can be held in what's called civil contempt. And the whole point of that is to get somebody to comply, to basically do what the judge ordered you to do. So that's why bond's not really a part of the conversation here, because Michael Martin has what the court might call the keys to the jail. And what I mean by that is all he's got to do is follow the judge's order, demolish everything in his backyard, then he gets out of jail. Now, Martin's attorney says, hey, we didn't demolish anything right now because we're still in the middle of appeals. Well, I asked attorney Anthony Rickman, who I should say is not affiliated with this case, about that.
And what the judge is saying, that you've already appealed this. This appeal has already been exhausted. All of these appeals are exhausted. And what the judge is saying is that I've already ordered this. You've had your appeals, you've had your rights, and now you can't thumb your nose at the judge, at the court. And there has to be a time where your appeals are done.
Yeah, court records show there have been many, many motions, many appeals already. And again, that lawsuit, it goes back to 2021. So this has been a pretty lengthy fight already.
So, I mean, can we say who is ultimately at fault here? Because as we have said, he got the approval that he needed from the city in order to start the build. And now he's saying, look, I'm not going to pay what did they say? It was $800,000 to take it down. So he's just sort of making his point by going to jail and staying there.
Right, potentially his team says that those demolition costs could be up to $800,000, exactly like you said. Let me answer your first question, though. The city acknowledged that they did approve the permits, right? That they gave him valid and official permits that he could do what he wanted to do. In fact, here's a statement that they sent me. They said, yes, we approve the improvements, but neighboring residents challenged that decision in court. The court ultimately ruled that the area in question was not buildable, a decision that was later upheld on appeal. This is a legal matter between the litigants and the courts. And so,
yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think the city does have fault. The city issued that permit. Michael Martin acted in good faith in building in that. I do think there's issues. And you know, for my purposes, I don't think, you know, when you look at the claim itself, I think that, you know, Martin's in a bad position because he acted in good faith in building that property.
So again, that was Anthony Rickman kind of offering his thoughts on this whole thing. Yeah. This is certainly not over. Obviously, this Tampa father is kind of stuck between city permits and a judge's final order, and so we're going to stay on top of this and cover it moving forward for sure.
You just got to wonder if it's also going to open up a floodgates of people not trusting whatever city is going to determine something. Because if this can be challenged, what's to keep somebody else from challenging something on their street in their neighborhood?
Sure, definitely.
It is certainly
fascinating.
Unique. Ariel, thanks.